Hello friends, I'm Abby and today I'm setting up my November bullet journal spreads. As you know, if you've been watching my channel, I always try to go with a Disney theme, or at least that's been my goal for all of 2020. And November, I wanted something very autumnal, very full of fall colors and fall vibes, and I decided to go with a Winnie the Pooh theme. If you've watched some of my other videos, you might know that Winnie the Pooh has a very special place in my heart. My mom and dad used to read Winnie the Pooh to my brother and me when the lights went out, and it was a very comforting, very warm feeling and just a very warm memory for me. And so when I was thinking of what I wanted for my warm and cozy November bullet journal spreads, Winnie the Pooh seemed like the perfect choice. I'm starting off my quote page by including this Winnie the Pooh quote that I love. It says, "You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." I think especially right now in the fall, working in the school is really stressful, and I'm trying to remind myself of this all the time. I bought this set of washi tapes on Amazon and I absolutely love them. I incorporate a whole bunch of different types of these washi tapes throughout my spreads. Instead of picking one main one like I normally do, I wanted to try to include all of them if I could. On my title page, I am drawing this scene from Winnie the Pooh that I found on Pinterest, and I didn't include all of the characters that are in the original picture. I really wanted to focus on the 5 main characters for most of my spreads, just because I'm not the greatest drawer and I didn't want to have to learn how to draw too many characters. But I thought that this scene was absolutely perfect for November and gave me such Thanksgiving vibes. I mean, they're all sitting at a table and there was a cornucopia involved, and Christopher Robin is making a little speech, a little toast, and I just thought it was perfect. And of course, it has all of the characters that I love sitting and enjoying time with each other. It was just such a magical picture to find, and I thought it would be perfect for my front page of my bullet journal this month. As you can see, I'm drawing Winnie the Pooh, Rabbit, Tigger, Christopher Robin, Eeyore, and Piglet, and they will be kind of my main stars throughout my spreads this month. I decided to use my new Tombow dual brush pen set, which is the Subtle collection, and I will link it down below as well, but I decided to use them as my kind of brush pens this month rather than doing a normal black calligraphy, and I'm loving the way that it turns out. I also have been trying to blend a little more by doing another layer on the bottom of the letters to add a little fade or an ombre effect, and I loved how it turned out. I'm also using a different coloring style than I've tried before, and this works really well if you have this clear Tombow brush pen and a plastic sheet. And so what I'm doing is I'm coloring with the marker on the plastic sheet, and then I'm using this clear brush pen to pick the color up, and it kind of adds a blending effect and an ombre effect naturally because it goes through the color and gets lighter as you're coloring. So it helps if you want some kind of a muted effect in your coloring, which is exactly what I was looking for. I didn't want too many strong colors. I wanted it to be very faded and almost like looking at a warm picture that you've had on your wall for a really long time. I'm trying something new with my calendar spread as well. So if you've watched my videos, you know I normally do a 6x6 box, but this month I'm choosing to do a 5x5 so that I can have a little bit of space in between each of the days, and I'm alternating between these 3 gorgeous fall colors I've been finding that I don't need the whole 6x6 box, and so I'm not worried about making the space smaller. I think I'll still have plenty of room to write in all of my activities. I'm bringing my balloon puncher that I haven't used since my Up theme, but I wanted to, again, keep the colors very muted this month. And so in this scene, which when I think of Winnie the Pooh, I think of the iconic balloon scenes where they're all flying in the air with balloons. And so I decided to use craft paper and my balloon punch that I just bought on Amazon to add in some different colors for the balloons that aren't so bright. And of course I have Pooh holding onto a balloon, I have Eeyore strapped to the balloon and Piglet floating on top, and then I decided instead of giving Tigger his balloon, I was just going to have him jumping up into the air with all of his friends. I decided to leave these characters just black and white because the boxes are so colorful, but I do color most of the characters as I'm doing my spreads. But in this one I just decided I wanted to leave it a little more blank so that there wasn't too much going on in the spread. And as you can see, I'm adding a second layer of this color to the bottom again to add that ombre effect with the pictures. As always, I'm adding a little piece of washi tape onto the edge of the title page and the cover page so that I can easily flip to this and find it. I've been changing the washi tape based on the month and I'm loving doing that. It makes it so much easier for me. Next is my brain dump page, and so because of the name brain dump, it made me think of when it rains so hard and it's dumping rain, and one of my favorite iconic scenes from the Winnie the Pooh stories is when it rains so hard that it floods and they use an umbrella as their boat. I decided rather than drawing all the characters in the boat, I wanted to just include Rabbit since he wasn't included in the last page. And so as you can see, he's riding in his umbrella boat and he's holding on to the handle as kind of the mast of the boat. I decided to use the yellow Tombow brush pen and my orange-ish Crayola Super Tip to blend these colors together, and I'm using the clear Tombow brush pen to make that blend more seamless. I started this tracker page last month and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm going to try it again this month, just a little bit different. And so at the bottom of this monthly trackers page, you can see I'm drawing Tigger, Pooh, and Piglet. And again, this is one of my favorite scenes. It's something that I quote a lot with my parents, and of course it's involved in the ride at Disney World, and this is the blustery day scene. And so in the blustery day scene, there is a huge windstorm that comes through and blows all the characters away. It causes a lot of problems for them. And so I wanted to add the scene where Piglet is flying away and they're holding on to him by his scarf. As you can see at the bottom of the page, I'm adding a mood tracker, which I didn't do in this format last month. Last month I did kind of a line graph tracker for my moods, but I wanted to go back to coloring my mood tracker because I just think the end result, I enjoy it so much more. So I'm drawing 30 leaves at the bottom of this spread to kind of go along with the blustery day. And as you can see, I have a key on my right-hand side. And the way it works is each day I will color in a leaf based on how I'm feeling that day or what my overall mood was. The reason I like this tracker spread is that it includes everything on one page for me so that I'm not having to flip back and forth to find my habit tracker, my mood tracker. I can track more things like my energy levels and my anxiety levels because I do have an anxiety disorder, so it helps me to kind of track how many good days I'm having, how many days it's a little bit harder. And I started tracking it this month and I'm really enjoying it, so I wanted to continue. And in this middle of the page, I'm tracking habits and energy, as I mentioned. And the way it works is you number across the top, and then for each day you fill in the box based on which habits I accomplish, and I create a line graph for my energy. I found this really great inspiration picture on Pinterest of the Winnie the Pooh characters all kind of making this scrapbook and being part of this scrapbook creation of fall items. So they're putting in fall leaves and pine cones and things like that. And so I took that picture and I created this kind of border edge where it has Pooh, Eeyore, Roo, and Piglet all working on this scrapbook. It seemed so autumnal and so full of fall vibes that I felt like I had to include it somewhere, and it just fits so well on this page where I will be tracking my gratitude spreads, my thankfulness spreads, tracking exactly what I'm thankful for every single day because it is so full of those fall vibes. I measured out some craft paper to kind of make this border at the top so that I could incorporate more of the craft paper in my spreads. I noticed as I was halfway through making my spreads, I wasn't including it as much as I wanted to, and so I thought this would be a good place in this title section. So as you can see, I'm writing in what I'm thankful for, and I numbered all of the days 1 through 30 so that each day I could just write down 1 or 2 things that I'm thankful for. I try to do this every month, but I've skipped doing it the past few months, and I really miss the activity of sitting down and being grateful. And especially with Thanksgiving this month, I really wanted to make sure that I'm focusing on that and putting an emphasis on finding things that I can be thankful for every day. The page I'm working on now is my expenses tracker, and every month I do a tracker where I separate it into weeks and I mark down what item I bought, how much I spent, and how much is left of my personal budget. And so this month I am tracking the weeks based on honey pots. And so I drew 4 different styles of honey pots that you see throughout Winnie the Pooh. I'm shading them in, I'm coloring them in with these fall colors I've been using. And as you can see, there's honey kind of spilling out of all of the pots. I just loved how this page turned out, and it makes me excited about coming back to it, even though budgeting is not the most exciting thing. Finally, I am setting up my weekly spread. I am trying something new this month. I started it last month and I really enjoyed it. And it's kind of this Dutch door weekly spread where I cut the pages of my bullet journal so that on the right-hand side, I have a little bit of space to write monthly tasks. This is a great setup if you have tasks that aren't specific to specific days. Like for example, I know I have to get an oil change this month, but I don't necessarily have to do it this week. And so if I have those tasks, they can go over on that right-hand side and I can see those lists all month long because I just have these little rolling weeklies in the middle. This washi tape I'm using at the bottom is my absolute favorite of the month. And of course it has that very fall pumpkin pie color, but I also love that it's a washi tape of the woods and it makes me think of the 100 Acre Woods. And I included it all along the bottom so it's almost like you're flipping through a book that's all continuing. So now when I am flipping through the month, I will always be able to see the month name, so I'll be able to see November every week, and I'll also be able to see that task list I talked about. At the bottom here, I'm drawing another iconic scene in my opinion, and it is this scene where Piglet and Pooh are walking through the snow, and it's normally accompanied with a very iconic Winnie the Pooh quote, and I didn't include the quote in this, but when I see it, I remember the iconic scene where they're talking about friendship and how they want to be friends forever and their lives are better because each other are in their lives, and I just absolutely love it. And they're also wearing scarves, and I just think it's the perfect start to my November. That is all for my November bullet journal spreads. So as we're flipping through, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm getting so close to 100 subscribers. It is just wonderful to have your support. So again, thank you all for watching. Comment down below what your bullet journal theme is this month, or if you're going to try something new, because I would love to hear about it. I will see you all next time. Bye, friends.